Screen 64 here. I thought I'd show off my my new Dreamcast I just got. Found it at a thrift store. I got it with 3 controllers, a game, and all the connectors and everything for about 15 bucks, which is really nice. I remember I used to have one of these when it first came out. I got it from my uncle. He bought it when it first came out. I remember going to his house all the time playing it. The graphics blew my mind because I still had a PlayStation 1. And I remember when this came out. This came out in 1999 for about $200. $199 was the starting price for it. Some interesting things about this system is that it has 4 controller hookups built in. Also, it was the first system to have internet. It had a built-in modem. It also came out with a broadband adapter, but those are very rare. It came out towards the end of the lifespan of the system. You also have your connectors in the back for your power and TV. You use the CDs. The only game I got for it right now is NBA 2K1, which is a pretty good basketball game. Probably one of the best ones on the system. Another cool feature about the Dreamcast was the memory cards. They were like little mini Game Boys. Some of the games had mini games you could put on these, and you could take them out and build up your stats. And then once you plugged it back into your Dreamcast, it would change the game. I liked them. The only problem I always had was the battery life wasn't very good with them. You had to put these watch batteries in them. You can find them at Radio Shack though. Here's a Dreamcast controller. It's kind of like an Xbox controller. It has the back triggers, joystick, D-pad, 4 buttons, and a start button. Doesn't have a select button, which is weird. Also, you had to buy an external rumble pack. It's kind of a big controller, but I mean, it feels really good in your hands. I always liked this controller. Mine, the triggers are a little stuck. I don't know what's wrong with this controller. Unfortunately, the Sega Dreamcast only survived 3 years before it got discontinued. It came right after the Sega Saturn, which was a bomb for Sega, and a lot of people lost faith in Sega. And Sega Saturn didn't last very long either. It only lasted a couple years too before everyone jumped to the Dreamcast. And nobody really liked that because they spent a lot of money on the Saturn, and then all of a sudden now I gotta buy another system. And the whole thing is, another thing is that it came out, before the PS2, so it was a little too early. The PS2, and the Xbox came out, and the Xbox pretty much blew it out the water. So even though the graphics are very good at the time, it's a very good system. It's really underrated in my opinion. I think it should have survived a little bit longer. It's one of my favorite, probably in that generation between the PS2 and Xbox. This was always my favorite. I remember when I got mine, I got it for Christmas, and I ended up trading it in for an Xbox, so I kind of regretted it, but now I got a new one. This one works well. Not bad, 15 bucks. You usually can pick them up pretty cheap. They're around $30, $40 on eBay sometimes. And sometimes you get lucky and find them at a thrift store. They don't know what it is. They didn't know what it was. They thought it was a Saturn or something, or a Sega CD. But if you can find one, I'd highly, highly recommend buying one. They're very good systems. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. Stay tuned for more video game consoles and reviews.